You're listening to the Bring the Thunder podcast, a podcast by fans for fans.
Indeed, you are. Welcome, everybody, to another recap from the Bring the Thunder podcast. We have myself, Gabe, we got Savir, and we have Joe as OKC takes down the Suns 123 to 119 in an absolute nail biter in the most literal sense of the word. So let's kind of get into
Unk agrees with that one, as he said, I had to play
here in my living room. I could not agree more, Unk. We mentioned last game, we talked about being up, slapping the floor and whatnot. I was absolutely up. The step back three from Shai at the end had me screaming at the top of my lungs. But big game from OKC tonight as they had a lot of adversity to play through. A lot of things go right and a lot of things go wrong. Let's dive into it now we have you guys here. We cannot wait to get into this. So, Joe, what you got to start us with? What's some things you know?
Of course, we'll start with a little box score watching. SGA goes for 37 and 8 assists. Started off a little rocky, ends up shooting 50%, 3 for 5 from 3. Had a nice night at the free throw line. He made 14 out of 17. CHET goes for 23 and 8. So Satvier nailed it again. Our previews, by the way, have been amazing recently. Kaysen goes for 14. Lou Dort goes for 7. And Jalen Williams in his return, 11 points, 8 assists. Rocky shooting night as expected. First game back since the NBA Finals. Off the bench, Isaiah Joe had 10. Jalen Williams had probably his best game of the year with 14 off the bench. Some nice timely shots. And for the Phoenix Suns, a lot of scoring from a lot of players, a lot of big shots, a lot of annoying-ass shots tonight. Leading the way was Colin Gillespie with 24 points, 6 threes he made tonight. Dylan Brooks, 19, terrible shooting night. Devin Booker, 21, 8, and 6, pretty solid night for him. And that was really it for them. But I will say, Gabe, you kind of touched on it. What a game. I'm so glad to be watching a game like this. We don't get these often, so it's kind of a blessing to see that SGA is still the coldest MF in the clutch in the league. I mean, just stepping into threes like it's nothing, getting to the rim like it's nothing. I do agree with Mike in the comments, but we'll get to that in a second, a little later on. Not breaking, but unfortunate news tonight. J-Dub comes back. AJ Mitchell leaves with a knee contusion. So rough news with the injury there for AJ, wishing a speedy recovery, which I think it will be. A knee contusion shouldn't be too long. But with that being said, that kind of opens the way for J-Dub to fully get his rhythm back on that second unit. So I'm going to kick it to Sapphire. That's my thoughts for the start here.
Yeah, the thoughts that I have is the length of time since we've had the Stranger Things show release in the NBA was when Sam Presti, J-Will, J-Dub, Dang, and Chet Holmgren had their jersey signings or, jerseys being released that same week. That's how long it's been since kind of the core started coming together. And now we're on a 19-1, game. We're on an 11-win streak, and we just cleared through this Group A pretty handily. So I feel pretty good about the game. J-Dub's back. That's all you could really ask for. We got an all-NBA, all-star, all-defensive player into the lineup. And, I couldn't be more excited with this win, this kind of hard-fought win, even though, we're missing Hartenstein, and then we also had the injury with AJ. It was just a bunch of barking to start the game with J-Dub back, and I think he brings that type of energy. I know Gabe always refers to him as the energizer guy, similar to Russell Westbrook, and he does bring that energy. Even if he's not impacting maybe with his scoring, he can still, get the crowd into things. And that first J-Dub dime over to Chet with the slam dunk, it just set the tone for the rest of the game. And I thought the guys played really hard tonight. And we had a couple minutes with J-Dub at center, which was awesome to see as well. We also, big shout out, Mike Muscala. If you guys are fans, I'm a huge fan of him. He's a Suns assistant right now. So he was shown on the big screen. He got a bunch of, loud ovation for Moose. And I thought that was amazing. So overall, I would say a great night for the Thunder fans. Chet had back-to-back threes, 14 points early, 5 of 9 shooting. He kind of shot himself out of his shooting slump that he's been on recently. And I know Shai had a rough start, but still 12 points, 3 assists. And from there, Wallace had a pretty consistent night. So overall, and I do want to mention the Shai stat of the night. He's on his 92nd 20-plus point game. He's tied Wilt for that second longest streak. And now he is only trailing Wilt, who has 126 games. So there's still a long way to go for Shai to get to that record, but I think he should get there by no time with the way he's playing, especially throughout this season. I think he'll get to that record pretty easily. Also, this is his 17 out of 20 games where he scored 30-plus points. SGA has 6 more 30-point games than the second most player, which is Donovan Mitchell. Just thought I'd get some early stats out here before the comment section start beating me up to him. So, yeah, I thought this was a great night. He ended with 37, scored 15 points in the final 7 minutes. I mean, really, you can't ask much more. And that's what we expected in our preview. And also, we hedged our bets between Royce O'Neal or Colin Gillespie to be the guy that, did the scoring outburst for them to even keep it close. And that's pretty much what ended up happening. So W to our previews. And I thought that was great. And then also we had the over on CHET, at least I did. He had 23 points, eight rebounds tonight. And I thought, that sums up the game pretty well there.
Yeah. Tonight was, sorry, Gabe. I was just going to mention tonight was interesting. I felt like OKC had a lot of chances to pull away tonight. And Phoenix just made some outstanding shots. Like you mentioned, Royce O'Neal banking threes in from deep. Shout out Cultureverse Podcast, by the way. Welcome in. O'Neal, Gillespie, huge clutch plays down to the stretch there. Even Gillespie almost had a steal when we were trying to get our free throws at the end of the game. Luckily, Caruso was there to clean it up. Gritty Phoenix team. And I kind of wanted to talk to you both about this before we get to back to our guys. I think Houston messed up really bad getting rid of Dillon Brooks. We kind of talked about Sapphire and I mostly over the summer talked about how he brings the culture, he brings the environment, he brings the effort.
We talked about it in our preview as well.
The preview as well. He didn't have a great shooting night, but he still went for 19 points. Guarded Shai and other ball handlers throughout the game. I've never seen Devin Booker try this hard on the defensive side of the ball. And that's strictly because of Dillon Brooks and the culture that he brings in the team aspect there. They're going to be a gritty team all season long. I don't think they're very talented, but clearly they're going to be gritty enough to play with the OKC Thunder in close games during the regular season. And that's I really think Houston messed up there. Dillon Brooks is a fantastic player. He likes to get in people's heads. He brings the energy to the game. And it kind of just adds on when he's averaging 21 points per game to start the year.
Yeah. Also, Unk makes a great point in the comments. Oh, sorry to cut you off there, Gabe. Go ahead.
You're good. No, you're good.
I was just going to say, Unk made a great point there. We had to go up by 20 points for us to really secure this lead against a team like this that's pretty high scoring with a guy like Devin Booker. And we really just didn't pull up to that. And also, we got a big dono here. We got to shout this out right now. Veer and Gabe, can you rate Joe's mustache 1 through 10 and then give him tips to improve or maybe ways to get a stash this legendary?
Okay, before you guys answer that, I do want to shout out Remix Vlogs. He joined our premium memberships earlier in the day after the preview. Thank you for the dono, brother. Appreciate it. We'll let you guys get to it now.
All right, Gabe. Give us a rating out here for Joe's mustache.
Joe, I'm gonna give the mustache rating. I'm gonna give it right now. I'm giving it a 6. It's not a bad absolutely. Mustache. It's just a little. It's shorter. It's not exactly like thriving as much as the goatee is as much. But some tips, just let it grow out, man. Just let it grow out. You give it time. Try some things out. Get creative.
I shaved like a week ago. It'll come back. Yeah, and just because of this comment, now I'm gonna have to go to straight stash again. I'm gonna have to shave the beard and all. So Sunday we'll see the straight stash come back.
I love it. I'm gonna chime in and just say we got the stash bros going out here, man.
Stash bros, hell yeah.
Gabe and Joe.
Bring it back. That.
So I'm gonna give it a 7. I think once you straighten it out, it'll be right there.
There you go.
And then we'll see what the rating is next time around. So 6 and a 7 for now for Remix Vlogs. But to kind of get back into it, Gabe, what were you going to mention?
Yeah, we're talking about Dillon Brooks a lot. Brooks is the kind of player that when you're watching, you absolutely just despise him, but that's his goal. That's what he's here to do. He's pretty much, if Lou Dort trash talked more, it's what you're getting with Brooks. I mean, obviously I think Dort's a better player, but Brooks' goal is to rough you up. He's always talking trash. He was talking to CHET a lot tonight. He was talking to Shai a lot tonight, and he gets in your heads. It's what he does. So I'll give him credit for that. I do still think he's an incredibly dirty player. I don't have much respect for him, to be honest with you. But I agree with you, Joe. I do think trading him is something that hurts, and especially off that Houston team. That Houston team was rough. Like, they played that way, and he was the front piece of that. So getting rid of that was really interesting to me. But yeah, Dylan Brooks, definitely a game changer tonight, but couldn't come up with it in the end. He can talk all the trash he wants, but he's not stopping Shai from getting his 30.
Yeah, I agree with that. For me, another takeaway of this game, and I believe there was a comment up there. Who was it from? It was from Mike B, one of our new members. J Will, the pump into that sidestep fadeaway mid-range in the clutch down the stretch there. Huge shot. He had a lot of huge shots tonight. Like I said, 3 threes tonight. He kind of looked like J Will from last year. When we needed him most, he stepped up, stepped in, made shots. This was definitely one of the games we needed him. We needed a lot of scoring from, not even scoring. We just needed a lot of production from a lot of people in this game. It was rocky in the beginning. It was interesting. We were tied at the end of the first quarter. We haven't had that much. The refs were, I don't even want to do it because we're OKC fans, right? So I'm going to shut up. But they were miserable. And we just had to play through it. But this just shows OKC can win in so many different ways, even when their stars don't really have it going on, even though Shai and CHET did. It's going to take J-Dub a little bit to come back. They're going to win games no matter what down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh,
I believe, Sapphire, you're muted. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to say shout out to Bradley for beating me to the stat in the comments, but I definitely wanted to shout him out because he's always early on this one. And then Sykes plays for his early comment as well. I mean, 19-1, we're looking good. Get that J-Dub rest off, and we're going to start blowing these teams out by I think our previous 10-game stretch, by the way, was 20-plus points. I expect it to be even more, and that beats our previous year's record of how much we were blowing out teams, which was 15-plus. So we've had a +5 differential on blowing out teams, and I think that'll go up to 25 if I'm predicting things right.
Yeah, and for anybody like feeling a little rocky about this win tonight, because I'm sure there are people out there, it was a tough game. These are the games we need right now. We need to prepare for these clutch games down the stretch in the playoffs, even though we had them last year. It's always good to get back into the groove. So we can't just coast into the playoffs. We need games like this, and we need cup games like this, NBA Cup games like this. It makes it more fun, you know. So stay with it. Still clearly the best team by a lot.
Yeah, shout out to Project Monster. He mentioned Shai becoming a 3-point assassin. He put up 3 for 5 on his shooting attempts on the 3-point line. I thought that was a great showing by him. Also, Wallace was 2 for 3 tonight. So we've been missing out on their consistent 3-point shooting, and we really needed it for this type of close game. So I'm happy about that. What were you going to say, Gabe?
Yeah, the big thing with tonight was the rebounds. We got our rebounded 51-37, and that's what's going to happen when you don't have your leading rebounder. So the fact that we didn't have Hart tonight, I think,
hold on,
is the
Gabe.
biggest.
I feel like I do this to you nightly now, Gabe. I feel like I do it to you nightly. But we got to shout out Sykes Plays, for the new membership. Shout out, Sykes. Welcome to the community, brother. Go check out all of our members-only videos and all the perks that we can provide for you.
You've got a lot of binging to do, by the way. We're knocking them out right now.
It's worth it. It's well worth it.
All right, Gabe. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, no. So I mean, that's a big thing that happened in this game was the out rebounding. The second chance points were crazy. So when we have Hartenstein, like they mentioned tonight, we're probably going to play these guys again in this tournament. When we have Hart, I'm not going to be concerned about this team. I do think they hustle hard, but we're a much better team. This was a close game. It was closer than it would have been if we're healthy, which story of our lives right now. But I felt good all around. I wanted to shout out Wallace tonight. Wallace was a dog. He was knocking down huge shots. He had that huge steal that led to the dunk on the other end. Wallace was one of my biggest game changers for this game.
Oh yeah.
Also want to shout out the Denver Nuggets for taking a nice L at home to the San Antonio Spurs. Let up 139 points tonight. That's always fun. But I would say it's time for everybody's favorite segment, but Jack's not here. You can L in the chat for Jack. He'll be back in a little while. I think he'll be back on Sunday. But it's time for Sapphire's Quarter. Welcome back to Sapphire's Quarter, where Sapphire is going to give you a start, bench, cut, And we want to see all you guys in the comments first before we answer Sapphire. Let them know what's going on tonight.
All right, for our start bench cut segment here, very quickly, J-Dub, Booker, and Austin Reeves are the three guys we're picking between for guards. I try to pick guys that are kind of secondary guards that, I guess Booker could be a first level guard, but he's kind of strictly a score first guy, and Austin Reeves can kind of play good defense. And J-Dub is also kind of offense and defense. So it's a good mix of guards here. Gabe, go first. Where do you have these guys?
Yeah, this is pretty straightforward for me. I'm starting J-Dub, benching Booker, cutting Reeves. I think it's real easy for me in that scenario. I think J-Dub's the most well-rounded player of the three. I think Booker is the most experienced, and all around just the scoring you're going to get is great. I think Reeves has incredibly inflated stats right now. I really don't think Reeves is – I think he's good. He's a good player, but he's a third option. He's not much more than that to me, so that's pretty easy.
Joe, let's hear it.
You might hate me. Well, first I want to get to our new member saying start Dub, bench Booker, cut Reeves, agrees with Gabe. I don't know. I think it's a tough question. We know that J-Dub fully healthy and at his peak is obviously the start there. I mean, 40 in a finals game, NBA champion. And the defense he brings obviously solidifies him as the starter there. Man, I really like Austin Reeves this year. And I called him overrated in our pregame segment for the Lakers because I said of his playoff droppage. Like his stats drop. So far, his stats have dropped in the playoffs. He's still very young. He currently has 38 points as we speak. It's against one of the worst defenses in the league, but in Dallas. Yeah. But I'm gonna bench D-Book for now. But Austin Reeves is on his ass because Austin Reeves is becoming a really good player in this league. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to these comments here a little bit, Zap. Here we got Ung coming in with star Jada, Booker, Reeves. Indy Sports, what's up, Indy Sports? This was our first member, actually. Shout out Indy. Jada, Book, Reeves. So it seems like everyone is kind of in agreement here. But I will say, I'm telling you, Reeves is becoming a really good player. And alongside Doncic, he's becoming like he could be their number 2 option as of right now in the regular season. We'll see how it pans out in this year's playoffs.
I want to shout out Indie Sports fan up here. He said if we could donate some wins over to the Pacers, that would be great. Don't you worry, Indy. You guys are going to have plenty of wins next season. 60-plus wins, if I'm not to be mistaken here. Definitely want to get to that. Mike mentioned the Memphis beating the Clippers, which is really good for us. Our Tankathon spin is getting really, really well here. Also, good night to Sykes. Thanks for becoming a member. We'll see you for the next show for the post game and the pregame video. And
Sunday.
Sunday. And then we have the Jazz winning, which is also good for us. I love that we have hardcore fans and you can kind of feel it with this community.
Outstanding in this chat right now.
Yeah, this is high level. This isn't like a Twitter guys getting into the comment section. This is like high level debate out here. Mike says a cup win, Shai MVP, Chet DPOY, a championship, AJ Mitchell for most improved player, and also Shai for clutch player of the year is not too greedy. I think the number 1 pick may be a little greedy there, Mike, but we'll definitely be hoping for it. Just wanted to catch up on some of these comments here and appreciate you again, man. And Mike, you're absolutely right, bro. Perfect night for us. Perfect night. It's just outlining kind of where we're heading. Gabe, I have a question for you. What do you think about Shai's playmaking tonight? 8 assists. We haven't even touched on that. We've gotten, 21 minutes into the show, and I feel like I'm the only one always bringing up the assist column because it's so important for us, for every team, for playmaking's sake. But if Shai can start getting into this 8 to 10 range every single night with 30 points, the league is in a different level of trouble. Gabe, please touch on this.
Yeah, so we mentioned earlier, he kind of had the slow start. Shai wasn't knocking down shots, and instead of just consistently forcing them, he started looking for his teammates. He knew that Chet was knocking down shots tonight. He knew Dub was back. I think all of our players just play better when we're willing to swing the ball. We had some really good possessions tonight that looked like some prime Spurs ball movement. We were swinging the ball around, making the extra pass, hitting the guy in the corner, and Shai was leading that. I mean, when you have a guy like Shai who's averaging so many points, it's such a good role model and such a good look to the rest of the players when you see him passing up open shots to get other guys open shots. So when guys come in the game, for example, like Kaysen comes in the game, or when Jay Will comes into the game and they see Shai coming out, passing up open shots, that's infectious. That makes you want to swing the ball. It makes you want to find the open guy. And that's what Shai was doing tonight. He was finding the open guy. He was moving the ball. He was taking shots when he needed to. Like in the fourth quarter, he took over. He knew he needed to. But even in the fourth quarter, he was making some passes to get guys open. So Shai is infectious, is a leader in everything he does, and passing tonight was easily what he was looking to do. So yeah, you mentioned Satvir. If he can average in that 8 to 10 range, MVP him again because he deserves it. If he's averaging 30 plus, if he's averaging 8 plus assists, if he's going to be 50, 40, 90, if he's going to be all defensive team as well, we're witnessing one of the greatest guards the NBA has seen in a long time, and no one wants to admit it. So we will admit it here at this podcast every chance we get. Tonight, he absolutely did what he needed to do. He got his points. He got his teammates involved. He played defense. He pulled out a tough game. So great win by the team, but it just shows you what Shai can do when he really locks in.
And I'd like to carry off of that. The Thunder added another playmaker back in. He didn't have a shot going tonight, J-Dub, but he also had 8 assists tonight, making things happen on the defensive side of the ball, making things happen for his teammates. Can't wait till he starts averaging about 20, 22 points again with those assists, with that defense. Team's starting to get healthy. I know AJ went down, but it's starting to get scary.
It is.
I wanted to mention something as well. You talked about J-Dub with the assists. How much more comfortable is Chet Holmgren playing knowing that J-Dub's out there? Because J-Dub searches for him, man. The passes are perfect. You know that lob connection is coming back soon. J-Dub might not have had the best shooting game, but like you said, he is always looking for Chet. He had that beautiful pass where he kind of kept it low and fed it right into Chet's hands. Easy points. Chet cannot be more excited than knowing that his duo is back.
Gabe, we talked about that. I forget which it was, maybe the episode, one of the lives. That chemistry is off the charts. And we said it was somebody asking, is Chet going to take a back seat when J-Dub comes back? No, Chet's going to get better because J-Dub sets him up perfectly.
Yeah, we saw it tonight. We saw it with him doing it with everybody, but that connection is special. It's been special all along. And I just can't wait again for when they're all healthy and we're just seeing Dub looking for the oop for Hart and Chet. I mean, no one runs a pick and roll oop better than J-Dub. Nobody. It's like serious.
There's a running joke. There's a running joke that Shai can't throw those oop passes the way J-Dub can, and I think they always make fun of Shai about that. And it really shows the impact on freeing up the floor for Hartenstein and Chet when he's out there. Like it just becomes a whole different ball game, honestly. Like, they're coming from the wings and they're crashing the board. So even if the oop doesn't go well, they can still get the rebounds, or he can even pull up for mid-ranges, and that opens up J-Dub's game. So it turns us into a different level of threat when you have a whole different scoring option other than just Shai isolation. Like we get to go into a lot more different sets, and that opens up shooters, and it just turns into this whole cat and mouse game that teams can't really compete with. And that's the thing about having J-Dub in the lineup. It's not just about his playmaking or his scoring. It's just him and his gravity on the floor. Like just that added benefit of the multiple things that he can do and being that Swiss Army knife for us. I love it for Chet, and shout out to Poku Collector out here.
Crazy name.
Amazing name, man. I had to shout this out.
But I do want to carry off before we get to some of our members' comments, because there are a few we missed. With J-Dub back, you guys were mentioning he creates for everybody. He's probably our best creator on the floor. I was going to get to Unk's comment here. He thinks it was a big loss tonight with AJ. I mean, absolutely. We don't want him to go down, but luckily it's just a knee contusion. We'll see how long he's out. I did see this morning Aaron Wiggins was at morning shoot around, so hopefully Aaron Wiggins will be back. But I was going to mention, with AJ out now, I mean, it's going to surely get J-Dub back into form faster than he needed to be, because he's going to be running that second line again. We know that. And that's going to be him and Chet. And I think those two together, while running that second line while AJ is getting healthy, they're going to get their chemistry back. J-Dub's going to get back into a groove, and then all of a sudden this team is going to be absolutely rolling. There was another comment here by Indy. Indy said, I had to suffer through watching two of my old high school rival schools win state championship football games today. It was torture. You know what, Indy, I don't want to rub it in anymore, but it seems like in championship games you've been coming up just a little short recently, man. Just a little short.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Oh gosh.
We're rooting for you, man. We're definitely rooting for you. Hopefully you got basketball teams over there, and hopefully they can get it done for you. Not the Pacers, but like the high school teams. Sorry, Indy.
Oh gosh.
We love you, man.
Oh,
we
my
do.
goodness.
We appreciate it all, man.
I want to shout out to Mark Dagnall for talking a little bit about J-Dub post game. He said he brings the spirit that he brings to the game is, what has his tenacity really good for us. And also he mentioned that J-Dub's debut, he played the right way, really competed, the ball pressure. It was just really impressive for somebody that hasn't played in a while. And I feel like that was a great way to sum up kind of J-Dub's night tonight. 11 points with the assist. And on the defensive end, he played fantastic, played some center minutes when we needed it. Like, he was all over the place as he normally is. And as he gets his groove back, I think we'll be hitting on all cylinders here in about 2 to 3 games. And I can probably see him go for a good amount of buckets next game, to be honest.
Big time buckets next game. Gabe, I wanted to mention Casey Wallace because you brought him up early, shout him out a little more. Mm-hmm. Interesting stat. Mm-hmm. I'm not comparing him to these guys, right? It's just cool to be mentioned with him. Casey Wallace has 200 career steals, 200 3-pointers, and has shot 45% from the field. Plus, at 22 years old, the only players in NBA history to do that are Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Jason Tatum. So some pretty high-quality names to be there with Casey.
That's just crazy, man. I mean, that's insane. He's the kind of guy who we've talked about before, how many players on this team could go to a different team and just absolutely excel. He would be one of those, but instead he knows the team chemistry. He knows the team. He isn't greedy. He doesn't need that. He's just being great here. And I could not be more grateful for that. He had some huge plays tonight, huge plays. Indy says, who's your football Big Ten championship dub coming next Saturday? There you go. I hope you get something. You got to get something. So
they got the number one pick. They got the number one pick playing at quarterback right now. So yeah, there you go. He's got something rolling for him.
Absolutely. I did want to mention one more thing before we even really move on or wrap it up at all. But I'm really digging J-Dub's finished tattoo sleeve. I'm digging the angel. It looks good.
I noticed that.
It just looks sick. Sleeve looked sick. It just looked really good. So I noticed that. I was like, damn, that's cool for sure. Thank you, Unc.
Thank you, Unc. We appreciate you, man. All right. So do we have anything else on tonight's game? I know we pretty much touched on everything that happened tonight. If not, I'd like to preview Sunday just a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, that kind of does it for tonight's game. Sunday, though, another big game, and it's a big game because we're playing the team again who has given us the 1 in our record. The Portland Trailblazers, we're going back to Portland, 5 o'clock Central start on Sunday. Hopefully we get Isaiah back. And we're bringing J-Dub with us this time back to Portland. You guys, quick thoughts on that game and expectations? Nothing too much. We don't want to ruin the preview.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened last time. I'm not too worried about this team anymore. I'm really not. It could be a trap game. We could slip up. They're a good team. I'm feeling good. I'm expecting a big game out of J-Dub.
Yeah, it's a solid time for the game, so it's not at a wonky time or anything. I'm not too worried about us slipping up. We've already slipped up the first time around. They know what they did, after that to kind of so-and-so figure them out. So I think next game will be the same as the last one, and we should take them out pretty handily. And I'm ready to do that preview, and just excited to see kind of how J-Dub starts reintegrating himself. And hopefully Hartenstein's back for the next game with his ankle injury. I'd love to see him into the lineup, and this will give some opportunity for some more Shai rest as well. And just in general, like, I think we're rocking and rolling. We should hear from Aaron Wiggins soon in terms of an injury update. I know he was progressing pretty well. So we should see him sooner rather than later with AJ going out. And also big shout out to Isaiah Joe for carrying on the bigger minutes, heavier load while AJ is going to be out. So he's been playing pretty solid for us these past several weeks since he's been back. So I'm excited about that as well.
All right, fellas. I think that is going to do it for us tonight. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. If you do celebrate some nice deals on Black Friday here today. Unc, we'll see you on Sunday, brother. Thanks for tuning in. With that being said, Gabe, wrap this up.
Yeah, as always, you guys know we appreciate the comments so much. We love reading the comments. We love talking with you guys. We're excited to get into the next one. Make sure you guys continue to check out our other content, check out our subscriptions, and as well, make sure you guys keep tuning in to those pre-games. They are really interesting. We have really good stuff talking about the betting lines and all that. But thank you guys for joining. Joe, send us home.
Yes. See you guys Sunday. Gabe said it all. Thunder up, baby. Let's go.